Welcome back to another gear review. What should be your first knife? Or better yet, what should be the first knife you get somebody who's ready and responsible for a knife? I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, so I'm going to keep that. Hopefully you're smart enough to pick up what I mean. I have a lot of knives. I have children. My children are teenagers and adults now. But I started them off with a pocket knife. And before this knife came about, I had started them off with something generic. And I wish I had done more research in regards to what knife I wanted to start my kids out on. However, my daughter, she didn't get a knife until she was roughly 17. She's 19 now, and the Spitfire, not the Mini, was the one I started her off with. So this 726 Mini Spitfire retails for right around $44 on Amazon Prime. It used to be cheaper. It's gone up a little bit. It's a 726 Mini Spitfire. Now, this is made in the US 100%. The blade is 2 3/4 inches long, has a drop point, made of 420 HC steel. The total length is 3 3/4 closed. It weighs 2.1 ounces. The handle is anodized aluminum, and the clip is removable, and it goes in 2 positions. So let's take a look at that. Need to sharpen that knife. I've been using it a lot lately. And I know people are like, don't cut towards yourself, but I did. All right. Now, here's their little piece of paper. Their famous forever warranty, which is known with Buck Knives unconditionally warrants that it will repair or, at our option, replace this knife if it is found to contain any defects in material or workmanship. The warranty covers replacement parts and labor. The warranty does not cover misuse, abuse, normal wear, or products that have been modified in any way. So I abuse my knives quite a bit, the ones that I carry. Now, this is roughly what I would start if I, and you have to look at the maturity of your child. Talking to my grandparents, my grandfathers when they were alive, they got their first pocket knife, I think, when they were 7, 8 years old. They grew up on farms, rural areas. It was a lot different back then. They used knives as tools for all kinds of things, cutting open bales, farm chores, things like that. We don't have the same type of children that were back in that day. However, if you're raising your kids right, I still see a need for them to have a good quality knife. And we'll get into the guidelines of how I think you should teach your children on how to properly handle knives and take care of knives and the stewardship in regards to that. What I did with my child when I first started, my son, is when I gave him a knife, I said, he was allowed to carry it with him when I was with him. When I was not with him, I would take that knife and I would put it in my safe with my other knives or in my drawer. And so he was not allowed to have access to that knife apart from me being with him until he's reached a certain age. And that age happened to be around 12 years old for him. And at one point he did misuse it. I took it away. He got it back, and so on and so forth. But he did not misuse it in a terrible way. But looking at this knife, I think this is a great starter knife. It is made in the USA, which you know I'm a proponent of. It comes out of the box sharp. It has a great clip, a pocket clip with 3 studs, which I'm a fan of. It has a raised hunch there with grooves in the back for thumb placement, which I like as well. And then it has a good notch there to have a good hold. Now, my hands are really big, but if we're thinking about somebody who's starting out with their first knife, their hands are going to be much smaller, and this would be great. If you happen to have a bigger child, you might want to start them off with the full-size Spitfire, which is not that much more, roughly $10 to $12. Now, I do like that this is made in the U.S. I like that the handle's aluminum, and they have different colors. I like the three studded pocket clip. I like how sharp it comes out. It's pretty light. It looks sleek and clean. I got one of these for my cousin, and I actually had it engraved. That's another thing. It's not too cheap, and it's not too expensive where you're going to be very upset if your child loses it, which, if you have children, you'll understand they lose things. However, it's nice enough where you can get it engraved. Our engraving service here where I live costs roughly $10, $15 depending. It's not too expensive. I can go up to $20 depending on how much you want on there. But so let's say you wanted to give this as a birthday present. It'd be a great first birthday present with a little engraving. So you're roughly right around $55. I don't think that that's going to break the bank. I think that's pretty relatively not too bad. And I like the knife, and I have one of these that I've had for roughly 4 or 5 years, and I really like it. It's very sharp, and I also like the locking mechanism. And the one I have, it's still stiff. It's not loose. It hasn't wore down. It's a great knife for the price. For $45, and you might be able to find that cheaper. It's a great knife. And this is the one I would start off with if I was looking at getting a knife for somebody who's becoming of age that warrants one. Boy or girl alike, or whatever gender you are. So, take a look at this, and we'll put the link below. You can get it on Amazon. I prefer to get it. I've gotten several from Academy Sports, Shields, things like that. But it's a great knife. And I believe that you can order any knife through Buck. Don't quote me on that, but I know that there's a lot that you can order from Buck that you can get engraved on their website as well. So you might check into that. Nice little pocket knife, not a lot of weight. If you're not looking for your child, but maybe for yourself, this is also a great pocket knife. I tend to use my knife a lot. I carried the full-size Spitfire every single day for a couple years. I still like that knife. It's in several of my bags because it maintains a great edge. It's made very well. Like I said, I like the locking mechanism. I like how it holds. And but I've been testing so I can share with you guys. I have this one out right here, this Hogue knife, Megford Sig, which I'll be doing a review on. Been carrying this for 3 months, and I tend to review them for 3 months before I give you guys what I think about it. But this is really nice knife. I would not bother me if I had all the money in the world, and I don't have all the money in the world, but I have all the money I need to buy pretty much any knife I want. And I still would not mind carrying a Spitfire, a mini or a full-size version. So they have a few different colors, and I believe that you can, I know on the full-size Spitfires, you can customize them, which I have done with one of mine, and I've done a review on that as well. I've done a review on the Spitfire. You can check the link below for my review on that. Like I said, I use it every day for several years, and I use my knives every single day. Not every other day. I use my knives every single day, and that's not an exaggeration or just something to say for you guys. I really use it every single day, several times a day. So this is a great knife. Take a look at it and check it out. And I don't think it's going to break the bank, and I think it's something that would be a nice heirloom to keep, and I think it'll hold up very, very well. Also, they have their forever warranty, which with these knives, I don't think that you're going to have issues. So the Buck Mini Spitfire, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, like, subscribe, share. I'll see you next time.